It's a quick video tutorial on making some image and text edits to Glusis.com. Alright, so I just logged into the WordPress admin. I'm on the dashboard here. What I'm going to do is hover over the home icon at the top here and click on Visit Site to bring me out to the public view of the site. Alright, so the homepage is loaded here. The homepage itself, most of the content here is pulled in from elsewhere on the site, so there's no real need to edit this directly. So for this example, let's go up to a different page here. Let's click on the photo gallery under the About section, and it's going to load up. And then to edit this page, we're going to click on this button at the top here called Enable Visual Builder. And when that loads, basically it's going to load an editor over the layout of the page. I'm not going to restore that. Alright, so once that's complete, you'll see there are a bunch of different containers that appear as you hover over the different sections of the page. This outer blue container is for this large section here. It's a white area that contains this image gallery. It's called a section. You can add a new section at the bottom here by clicking on this plus icon, and that'll add in a new block of content below. That'd be useful maybe if you wanted to add in a new gallery of images of a different type. Above that, we have this green section, which is called a row. In this case, we just have one row. Rows can also have multiple columns. You can adjust that by clicking on this little 3-tier column thing here. Right now, you can see it's just one column. If I were to adjust it to 2, we'll see how it splits in half here. And then we have another section over to the right. I'm going to keep it with 1 for this page. And then when you mouse over this gallery of images, there's another container here, which is called the module container. And this allows us to edit the settings for this particular element on the page. So I'm going to click on the gear icon here. Let's open up the gallery settings. Over on the left, you'll see this grid of images, which are represented on the right as well. I'm going to add one to the mix here by clicking on the plus icon. This brings up the media library, which are all the images that are currently on the site. If you want to upload a new image, you can click on this Upload Files tab over on the left here, and just select a file off of your hard drive. For now, we're just going to pick an image out of the library. So I'm going to click on this image here. Quick thing to note, you want to make sure that the image's caption has an entry here, and that'll appear below the image. Make sure that the title is empty. Let's see, pick an example here. So James Marin here. You want to take out the title and just put in a caption for him instead. And that'll display a little bit nicer if we do it that way. So anyway, so as you can see here, I just selected these 3 images because they have check marks next to them. If I wanted to unselect one, I could just click on that and it will go away. So we should be adding these 2 images to the grid right now. So I'm going to click on select, and that is going to update the gallery on the left here. So we see these 2 here, and they're also appearing over on the right as well. If you want to change the order of any of these, you could just simply drag this image on the left to where we want it to appear, and it'll update in both places as well. Yeah, so once we're done with these changes, now it looks good over on the right hand side. We click on the green check mark, and that will save the changes in this particular module. Go ahead and do that. There still is one more step though to make these changes public, and that is to click on save for the entire page. So if you hover over this purple icon at the bottom here, there'll be a bunch of different options. You can save appears over on the right. You click on that, or if you just click on Exit Visual Builder back where you enabled it before, that'll bring up a dialog here that'll ask you to save and exit or discard and exit. In our case, I'm not going to save these changes, but if you were happy with them and you want to publish them, you can go ahead and click on Save and Exit. Alright, so that's going to bring us back to just kind of the public view of this page here, and we'll see none of these changes were saved. Okay, let's go to a different page and we'll look at editing text area. So I'm going to bring up the Concertos page here. Okay, and then same deal. Once the page is loaded, click on Enable Visual Builder at the top. And once that's loaded, you can tell it's loaded because you'll see these different containers and controls appear as you mouse over the different sections. So let's say we wanted to update the guitar and orchestra concerto section here. So if I click on the settings for this gray text area, see this whole area is just kind of one big text area. So I'm going to click on the settings for that. It'll bring up a text editor over on the right here. And if I wanted to add something to this list, I could simply just hit return. I'm going to scroll down on the left here so I can see where I'm typing. And you can say, a new piece of music here, right? And we can, adjust the formatting for this as you like just by highlighting it and scrolling back up. It's a pretty long section. And you can make it bold or italicize or change the, make it into a headline as well. Yeah, that's kind of the basics on editing text. If you want to link to something, just make sure that your text is selected, and you can click on the Insert Edit link here, and that will, it's an easy way to link out to a separate website or something on the existing site. When you click on this item here, it'll bring up a bunch of different options. Let's see here. You can paste in your URL right there and click on OK, and then it will go there. If you want to link to something like a PDF, again, just make sure your text is selected. Click on Add Media, and then if you select that PDF or whatever file from here, it'll add it right into the document for you. Once you're happy with your changes, just go ahead and click on the green check mark there. Verify it looks good in the display here. And then when you're happy, you can just go up to Exit and then click on Save if you want to keep them. You can click on Discard for the tutorial here. And then I would just scroll down and make sure that your changes got saved okay and that they are public. Let's look at one more section here. Let's go down the collaborations page. And maybe we can just look at adding a new image to this page. We did a gallery before. It's a little bit different for a standalone image, so I'm going to click on Enable Visual Builder. We have this photo of Benita Boyd over on the right here. Say we wanted to add an image below that. To do that, I would click on this little plus icon here, which is just going to add a new module right below this image. And it's going to bring up this pretty lengthy list of different types of modules we can add in. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see image appears here, or you can just type it in the search at the top and it will filter them for you. Alright, so we got our image. That's going to bring up the settings for the image. You'll see right away there's a placeholder image put in there for you, so you get an idea of where you're working. If you click on that placeholder image on the left, it'll bring you to the gallery, and from there you can pick the image you want to include. Let's just put this one in for the moment. And click on Upload, and there's our image there. It appears on the right. And that's pretty much it in terms of adding an image. You can adjust the size of them. If you go into the Design tab here on the image settings, and then go into sizing, you have some control over the width. Right now it'll make it a percentage of the surrounding row that it's in. You also can control the alignment of it if you want to center it there, or maybe leave it to the right. There's a little bit of options there. Once you're happy with it and you think it looks good, click on the green check mark to save those image settings. And over here you'll see kind of how it will look on the page. If that looks good to you, you can go ahead and click on Exit and then click on Save. In my case, I'm just going to click on Discard for the tutorial. And then it'll reload the page, and you'll have, if you clicked on Save, you'll have that new image appear beneath Bonita on the right. Alright, so that's just a quick tutorial on using the what they call the Visual Builder. I will just quick show you one other way to get to the screen that we're on currently. So if you were to go into the Pages menu on the left here, and you go into this, there's all the pages listed on the site. If you were to click on, let's bring up that page we were just on there, Collaborations. If you just click on the title to edit the page, it's going to bring you to a page here that has a bunch of boxes, which is kind of like essentially a wireframe of the page we were looking at earlier. To edit this in a nicer way, you can just click on Build on the front end, and that will bring you right back to that Visual Builder tool that we were using earlier. A couple of extra steps to go that way, but it is an option if you're already there. And then you can just make your changes per usual like before. And when you're all done, just click on Exit, and you'll be all set. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Over email is probably the easiest way, but you're more than welcome to give me a call too. I think that should do it for this one. Thanks.